AMD just bet $5 billion against Nvidia's monopoly. New chips, 30% cheaper tokens. 3 AI giants signed on. Wall Street sold the stock anyway. You'll see why. Part 1. What Helios actually is in real specs, and exactly why AMD built it this way. This is AMD. On July 23rd, at its Advancing AI event in San Francisco, it declared Helios, its rack-scale AI system, in full production, aimed squarely at Nvidia's data center lead. This is the company betting its next few years on that fight. Here is the actual press release. AMD's own words. ROCm is, quote, the open software platform needed to build and deploy AI on AMD hardware. Crack one rack open, and here's what's inside. 72 Instinct MI455X GPUs, paired with 18 6th-generation EPYC Venice CPUs, all built to move together as one machine, not 72 separate boxes. Here's the independent confirmation from a separate outlet at the event. 2.9 exaflops of peak FP4 compute, 31 terabytes of HBM4 memory, and 1.7 petabytes per second of bandwidth in one rack. 2.9 exaflops of peak FP4 compute, 1.4 exaflops at FP8. That's the ceiling AMD says a single Helios rack can hit.
The CPU side isn't an afterthought. Each EPYC 9996 packs 256 cores, 512 threads with SMT enabled, boosting up to 5 GHz. 18 of these sit inside every Helios rack. And here's who already signed. OpenAI committed 6 gigawatts. Meta committed up to 6 gigawatts. Anthropic committed 2. All reported the same week Helios went into production. Act 1 in one number. 72 GPUs, 18 CPUs, one machine, already in full production. But does the math actually beat Nvidia? That's part 2.
Part 2. The direct comparison AMD wants you to see against Nvidia by name.
Same GPU count, 72 each. This is Nvidia's Vera Rubin NVL72. The rack AMD is naming directly as the target. Here it is in print. 15% more AI compute, 50% more memory, 50% more scale-out bandwidth, and up to 30% more tokens per dollar, all measured against Vera Rubin NVL72 by name, not a vague rival. Laid out together, 15% more compute, 50% more memory, 50% more bandwidth, 30% more tokens per dollar. AMD's own numbers, and AMD didn't publish the full benchmark conditions behind them. 34 times higher token throughput, not against Nvidia. That's MI455X against AMD's own last generation MI355X. The generational leap is real before you even touch a rival chip. The rest of the lineup, same release. MI350P claims up to 4.2 times more tokens per second per dollar than the competition. MI430X hits 288 teraflops of FP64, aimed at scientific and sovereign AI computing. 3 frontier labs, side by side. OpenAI, 6 gigawatts. Meta, up to 6 gigawatts. Anthropic, 2 gigawatts. All 3 the same week. The full list runs longer. Microsoft, Oracle, Humane, TensorWave, Vultr, and Cirruscale are all named too, with systems shipping through OEM partners Bull, HPE, Lenovo, and Supermicro. The signups in 1 week. 3 frontier labs, all confirmed on AMD hardware. That's not a rumor. That's public commitments, with gigawatt numbers attached to every one. And then, during the announcement itself, this happened to AMD's own stock. We'll show you exactly why right after this. Part 3. Now, real talk, because this story has real caveats. Here's the honest number. AMD shares fell about 4% during the presentation itself, despite the stock being up roughly 145% year to date going in. Here's that reaction, reported live as it happened. The same article confirms AMD's $5 billion direct investment into Anthropic, with the first gigawatt of that deal shipping in the first half of 2027. So the market had real numbers to react to, not just a keynote. Notice what's missing from all of this. No published price per rack. No consumer availability anywhere at any price. This ships through OEM partners, Bull, HP, Lenovo, Supermicro, to hyperscalers and cloud providers only. Not to you, not directly, not yet. Here's the part that's genuinely open. ROCm outlets coding agents, Claude, Codex, Cursor, understand AMD platforms and ROCm natively, straight out of the box. So is Helios actually open? The software side, yes. PyTorch, Hugging Face, VLM, SGLang, all enabled. The networking underneath is AMD's own Pensando stack. Proprietary. The open pitch has a footnote. Here's that fine print in AMD's own release. Connected by AMD Pensando front-end, scale-up, and scale-out networking. Their own chips, their own wiring, top to bottom. Layer by layer, here's the honest scorecard. Frameworks, open. Coding agent support, open. Networking, closed. Pricing, undisclosed. You can own the code you write against it. You still don't own the wiring it actually runs on. So here's AMD, honestly scored. Real hardware, real customers, a real generational leap. But no price sheet, and open stops short of the wiring. Credible, just not yet complete. Act 3, in one line. No price, no consumer access, and networking that's still closed. 3 real caveats. None of them cancel the hardware. They just cap the hype. Part 4, the verdict, and what any of this means if you'll never personally touch a Helios rack. For years, Nvidia was the only real option, and it priced accordingly. Now, there's a credible second one. Real chips, real customers, real gaps. A genuine second option changes the pricing conversation for everyone renting AI, whether they ever see a rack or not. AMD's own forecast stated at the same event, the total AI compute market hits $2 trillion by 2030. AI accelerators alone, over $1 trillion of that. That is the size of the fight Helios just joined. 30%. More tokens per dollar than Nvidia's own flagship rack. That is AMD's claim, still to be independently verified at real-world scale. Here's the date to actually watch. The first half of 2027, when Anthropic's first gigawatt of Helios ships for real. That's when a 30% claim meets real workloads. So what do you actually do? Check whether your inference provider runs AMD hardware yet. Watch API pricing over the next 2 quarters. And don't trust a spec sheet you can't independently verify. 3 rules going forward. A name comparison beats a vague one. The stock reaction tells you more than the keynote applause. And when you're grading, open, check the wiring, not just the code. If a real second option in AI hardware just showed up, subscribe back. I'll see you in the next one.